everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere. Totem Pole Nation, Totem Pole Sports. This is Coach Taylor. I'm on the way to work. I'm on the way to school and haven't been able to stream very much. So I was like, man, I'm going to be doing an hour on the way over here to school. NFL or college football? This is a big debate. Some people are pro guys. Some people are, wow, we already got comments. Elizabeth, you are the best.
Elizabeth is in the house.
Jacob Williams, good morning, Totem Pole Nation. Where you at? I am leaving my house. This is Coach Troy Taylor, and I'm driving to school. I'm driving to Fork Union Military Academy, where I'm a coach. I'm the offensive line coach for the PG, and I haven't been able to stream. We haven't been able to do life lessons because it's so early. Teddy Belcher 4K Ultra NFL wins. The NFL is better than college football, according to Teddy Belcher. Jacob Williams, I've been getting a lot of good reports about you. It's a helmet sticker for you, brother. Teddy Belcher. Welcome back to Totem Pole Nation. We are the low man on the totem pole, but the low man always wins. Avaya, what's up? Is it the NFL or is it college football? Where is it at? This is for you, Avaya. All right, so this is Coach Troy Taylor, Totem Pole Nation. We're talking about the NFL or college football. Which one is better? Some people like college football better. They like Saturdays. Some people like NFL better. They like Sundays. Some people think the NFL is more fun. Some people think college football is more fun. Elizabeth said, I have school today. Wow, welcome back to school. And school is just getting you ready for life. All right, so just be a good person. Do what's right. Do your best. Treat people how you want to be treated. That's how you do in school. Do what's right. Do your best. Treat people how you want to be treated. Avaya says NFL. Elizabeth says NFL easy. So y'all are saying that the NFL is way better than college football. Man, the NFL last night, what did y'all think? The Detroit Lions versus the New York Giants. And then the game that was on my NFL network on my phone was the Carolina Panthers versus the New England Patriots. Totem Pole Nation, we love y'all. We are excited for football season. We are excited about the NFL. Man, what a blessing. What a blessing to be a part of Totem Pole Nation, the low man on the totem pole, and to be here with y'all. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. I'm on my way to Fork Union Military Academy, where I'm the offensive line coach, and we're talking about today, if you had to pick between Saturdays or Sundays, if you had to pick between the NFL or college football, which one are you picking? Pretty much you got to have ESPN. You got to have ESPN if you're going to watch the NFL and you're going to watch college football. You got to have NFL Network. You got to have NFL Network if you're going to watch NFL football. College, you might be able to get by with the rabbit ears. But come bowl time, dude, it's time for ESPN. You know, is college football still on? Is the SEC still on CBS? Is Notre Dame still on NBC? And does ABC pretty much have the rights to all college football games? Does Fox still have college football? Urban Meyer. You know, college football, the NFL, Totem Pole Nation. Thank you for joining us today. We love you. Totem Pole Nation's all about faith, family, football, and the future of content creation. And we've been creating content for almost 2 years coming up in November. And we are just blessed. We're blessed to sit here, talk about the NFL, talk about college football, talk about last night. The Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young versus the New England Patriots and Drake May. Jacob Williams, dude, where are you from and where did you learn what you learned? Because you are sharp. NFL moving more and more games to streaming companies. I'm sure college soon too. Yes. Eventually everything will be on a streaming platform, because if you were paying for commercials, would you want your commercials to go to specific people that they know what to show them? Or would you just want your commercial to go to random people that may or may not be interested in your product? Man, YouTube. We love YouTube. We love the NFL. We love Jacob Williams. Jacob Williams, here's a helmet sticker for you, brother. What a blessing it is to be here with you this morning. You know, we talked about Life Lessons Podcast, and Life Lessons Podcast was starting at 7:30 in the morning, and I wasn't going to be able to do it. So I was like, man, I'm just going to go ahead and stream a little bit on the way to Fort Union Military Academy, and I'll talk about the NFL and college football because that never gets old. Jacob Williams, what are your thoughts from last night? What are your thoughts from those preseason games? I wish I would have gotten to watch the Lions, the Detroit Lions, because I love that offense. And, you know, every person out there has had a mentor. Every person out there has had a coach. And Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, I had to go back and look at his Wikipedia. I mean, this guy's only coached for 3 teams, 2 NFL teams, the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions. But he played football at UNC, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and he played for a guy named John Shoop. John Shoop's brother's Bob Shoop. He was the defensive coordinator at Texas A&M. He's defensive coordinator at Penn State. But John Shoop was a Gruden guy. And John Shoop was the offensive coordinator at North Carolina when Ben Johnson was a backup quarterback to, I'm going to give you a name, TJ Yates. He was the backup to TJ Yates. And I'm telling you, man, if you're a backup quarterback at UNC, it's like you're destined for greatness. Look at Barstool Sports' Caleb Presley. He was a backup quarterback for the Tar Heels. But the NFL versus college football, Ben Johnson, the hottest offensive coordinator, the Washington Commanders, they say wanted him to be their coach. But I love to watch them play offensive football. I love to watch that offensive line led by Penei Sewell. You know, let me know in the comments, y'all, Totem Pole Nation. NFL or college, who's your favorite NFL team? What'd you think about those games last night? Are you fired about the NFL games tonight? Man. Joe Milton. How did Joe Milton look last night for the New England Patriots? How did Joe Milton look? Man, that guy has got a rocket of an arm. He's a huge dude coming out of Tennessee, the Volunteers. Joe Milton. I mean, to draft Drake May and Joe Milton in the same draft, I guess, you know, you're taking a guy in the 3rd pick, but you're taking another great guy late. So even if one guy doesn't work out, probably one of them is. I mean, this is the same thing that the Redskins did or the Commanders with RG3, Robert Griffin III, and Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, now the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, was with the Minnesota Vikings, but was drafted out of Michigan State by the Washington Redskins. Kirk Cousins. Shanahan drafted. Daddy Shanahan and Baby Shanahan drafted Kirk Cousins and RG3 in the same draft. RG3, I think, was 2nd overall, all behind Andrew Luck. And then Kirk Cousins was later. So did the New England Patriots do the same thing this year with Drake May and Joe Milton? And how would you feel if you were Kirk Cousins, the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins? How would you feel if you were Kirk Cousins and you think, hey, man, I'm getting this big contract. Here we go. They're going to get me a good player in the first round, got maybe a receiver to throw to. But no, they go and draft your replacement, Michael Penix Jr. from Tampa Bay, Florida, went to Indiana, played for the Hoosiers, and then transferred to the University of Washington. Michael Penix Jr., drafted by the Atlanta Falcons to take Kirk Cousins' spot. Kirk Cousins is coming off an injury, a very severe, I think it's Achilles. I mean, he tore his Achilles, didn't he? Jacob Williams, new kickoff rules in the NFL are interesting. Penalized for touchbacks, so more returns. Nobody can move until the ball is touched. Seems like early start flags every time to me. Dude, I mean, I've watched a few games, and I do not like the new rule. And you're penalized for touchbacks. Why is that, do you think, Jacob Williams? Why do you think they're penalizing teams for touchbacks? Because if safety was a concern, they would just move the tee up and let them kick it in the end zone. If safety was a concern. But no. The fans, the NFL, people that pay their hard-working money, the NFL fans don't like touchbacks. So what do you do now? You penalize NFL teams for touchbacks. You say that it's in the name of player safety. And instead of having a touchback where no one is hit, you make it where everyone gets hit, but you call it player safety. You got to love the NFL. You got to love the manipulation by Roger Goodell and the NFL. We're not stupid, dude. Come on. You think like, oh, we're making the game safer. We're doing this for the players. No, you're not. The fans don't like touchbacks. So what are you going to do? Make the gladiators fight. They give a few extra yards for touchback, like out of bounds. Must land in red zone, basically. Yes, you're exactly right, Jacob Williams. And yeah, there's a big difference between the 20 and the 35. That's 2 first downs. And in the NFL, 2 first downs are very, very hard to get. Very hard to get. So, Jacob, you need to coach me up a little bit on the rules. Like, if it's a touchback, do they get the ball in the 35? And I think average starting position last night when I watched the NFL Network, Carolina Panthers versus the New England Patriots, they said the ball's starting off on the 25-yard line now. That's the average. It's the 25-yard line in the NFL now in these preseason games. So, man, the NFL means not for long. And I'm talking about for the players. I'm talking about for the coaches. I'm talking about for everybody that's getting paid by that league. Unless you're an owner or in the front office, you can last in the NFL. Not for long. Tom Brady was 45 years old, or was he 44 when they said, Tom, it's time to get off the train. Get on off. Look at Bill Belichick. They asked Bill Belichick, hey, man, you got to go, dude. We want to salute Tom Brady. We want to put a statue of Tom's bust, of his entire body in front of Foxborough Gillette Stadium. So if Bill Belichick can't coach forever, and if Tom Brady can't coach forever, then no one can play or coach forever. The NFL, not for long. Jacob Williams, you are a very knowledgeable football guy. You are a OOU. Yeah, most people, this is some guy, most people are done by 30 in the NFL, while in the NBA, they are still in their prime at 30. Football takes a toll. Some guy, thank you for commenting on Totem Pole Nation. We are the low man on the totem pole. 90% of our viewers are subscribed. This is for you, some guy. Toby Price. What's you guys' opinion on the Cowboys? They get Zeke back. Toby Price, this is for you. Okay, some of y'all might say, well, what's going on with Life Lessons, Coach? What are you doing? Why are you on here so early in the morning? It's only 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:34 Eastern Standard Time. Well, I'm driving to work. I'm driving to school. I'm the offensive line coach at Fort Union Military Academy, post-grad. And Toby Price just asked a great question. And Toby, I like to take shots in the dark, all right? About Christmas time, I said that the Dallas Mavericks were going to win the NBA championship because there wasn't a team that really was standing out for me. And I figured both of those guys could go head-to-head with Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Well, I was wrong. But the Dallas Mavericks made a run, went to the finals, and I look like somewhat of a genius. I mean, I'm not Nostradamus, but, dude, I made a prediction that's going to upset everybody. I'm a lifelong Washington Redskins fan. I'm a lifelong Washington Commanders fan. Why? Because I'm from Richmond, Virginia. And I took a shot in the dark and said that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Wow. Dude, if you're going to ball, why don't you ball till you fall? I mean, what is it? Risk it, no biscuit. Jacob Williams, can Zeke handle a full load at running back? Is the Dallas Cowboys season over if he can? Well, Jacob Williams, running backs are a dime a dozen. Running backs are kind of like underwear. Everybody has a couple pair. All right. Running backs are kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger's maids, his nannies in his house. He's got a couple of them, all right? Running backs are a dime a dozen. That means you can get 12 of them for 10 cents. Look at these guys in the NFL. Look at how many running backs the Los Angeles Rams have had. It isn't about the running back. A great friend of mine, the offensive line coach at the University of Miami, Alex Maribal, told me, do you think the Detroit Lions offensive line, do you think they care who runs the ball? Do you think Penei Sewell cares which one of those freak running backs the Detroit Lions have run it? No, they don't. So, dude, the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, Zeke Elliott, Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is back. Dude, he had a tragic injury last year. CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. Last year, most pick six NFL record. Could it be broken this year? 3 years ago, I said that the Dallas Cowboys were the most talented team in the NFL. That was when Zeke was with them last. And, dude, the Cowboys are loaded. But the only thing is you got Dak Prescott. Can he get it done in the playoffs? And Jerry and Jerry's family and Jerry's world. But the one thing, people have told me that Jimmy Johnson is involved with the Cowboys. That Jimmy Johnson, the legendary coach of the Miami Hurricanes and the Dallas Cowboys, he's in the College Football Hall of Fame and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Jimmy Johnson is involved with the Dallas Cowboys. And if Jimmy Johnson is involved with the Dallas Cowboys, they are going to win. Jimmy Johnson doesn't do anything but win. The Washington Commanders is going to surprise a lot of people. Cliff Kingsbury is perfect for Jaden Daniels. Terry McLaurin, big season. All right, Jacob Williams. I saw the Commanders play twice last season. Once in the preseason against the Bengals, and they got murdered versus the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins. And I went to 2 games, and I don't think Terry McLaurin got targeted at all. I went there 2 years ago when Taylor Heineke was the quarterback, and he got the ball all the time. Dude, they should have went to the playoffs over the Giants. The referees, it was a fix was in, dude. They called Terry McLaurin for being off the ball or something. Like, they never called that in the NFL. Toby, very true and informative. Toby Price, dude, I'm the low man on the totem pole. All right, I'm pretty much a high school, small college, and post-grad football coach for the last 25 years here in Richmond, but I've been blessed to meet some of the GOATs. I've been blessed to meet Chan Gailey, Jim McNally, Anthony Munoz, Nick Saban, Jim Harbaugh. I mean, I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed to have one of the best football coaching podcasts in America. I did 200 episodes in 6 months. So what's smart about me is I ain't smart. I don't have any of the answers. All I know is what I know, and this is not ESPN, and this is not Barstool. We started this. Toby, I just subbed. I like your channel. Bruh, we are the low man on the totem pole. We are a group of individuals who believe in doing what's right, doing our best, and treating people how we want to be treated. We want to be successful, but we want to be successful by helping others, by changing lives, and by building champions. This ain't just about views. This just ain't about money, ESPN, Barstool, Dave Portnoy, Pat McAfee. No hate to any of y'all. But this is the real. This is a guy with a phone. This is a channel that is getting more subs than UVA and Virginia Tech's entire athletic program. This is a channel that's getting more views than UVA and Virginia Tech's entire channel. And they have $1 million budgets. We have a bunch of idiots. You'll see, Toby. We have a bunch of idiots, including myself. I put myself in there, that their phones don't even work half the time. We don't even have good laptops. I got my laptop from the Golden Goat Pawn Shop. Same here, Toby. Good vibes. Yeah, bro. It's good vibes because we are you and you are us. We're the low man on the totem pole. Totem pole. I was just like, dude, I'm going to drive to Fork Union and I'm going to live stream. I'm going to show y'all what the country looks like coming from Richmond, heading west, an hour west to Fluvanna County. And it's beautiful, y'all. It's beautiful. And NFL versus college football, that's always a big argument. So I was like, all right, let's talk about the NFL versus college football on the way to Fork Union. And wherever the wherever the yellow brick road takes us, we go. And when I got Toby Price and Jacob Williams on here with me, I mean, I got 2 of the best minds in all of football. So, guys, what I'm telling y'all is this. The wizard ain't a wizard. The wizard ain't a wizard. The guy that you think is the wizard, the guy that you think is the all-knowing, he don't know nothing. I know that. They ain't no different than me and you, y'all. ESPN's got a bigger budget. They got more money. They got better equipment. But those guys talking, they ain't no different than me and you. If I was a coach, this is Toby Price. If I was a coach, I'd do something never done in the NFL. I would fire everyone and have all college kids and have all kids first couple seasons we would suck, but after, man, see, I'm driving, it's hard for me to read. We would be unstoppable. See, Toby, that's a great idea, and that's when you have total control. But in the NFL, nobody has total control. I don't even know if the owners have total control, because the owners have to do what the other owners want. If not, they'll get rid of you. Look at Daniel Snyder. Bye-bye, Daniel Snyder. You're hurting the brand. We're going to make you sell your team. College football over the NFL every day of the year. Samoa, thank you, brother, for comment. See the NCAA college football or the NFL. Samoa says college football every day over the NFL. Okay, so Samoa, let me ask you a question. On Saturdays, I'm a high school football coach. Now I'm coaching post-grad. I've been a college coach. On Saturdays, how many games are there that if you're just picking them straight up on Saturdays, how many games are there that you cannot predict the winner? If you're just picking up straight up, no line, no nothing, hey, I'm going to pick Alabama versus East, West, South, Kentucky State University College, A&M. Or, it's USC, University of Southern Cal versus USC, University of South Chester. The thing that I like about the NFL over college football is any given Sunday. Any given Sunday, they can't even pick who's going to win without the line. If you throw the line in there, they definitely can't pick it. Even the experts can't pick it. In college football, I would usually look at the schedule. Everybody does it. Tell me if I'm wrong, man. But every Saturday, you look at the college football schedule and you're like, what game am I going to watch? Am I going to watch Alabama versus Auburn? Because that'll be a good matchup. Oh, man, Auburn plays, I don't know. Auburn plays Vanderbilt this week. No, I can't watch that. Since the NHL, NIL thing, it's no more dominant teams. It's like any given Sunday. Hey, that's a great point. That's a great point I haven't thought about. Why do you think Nick Saban got out of it? Why do you think Nick Saban went and testified in front of Congress about his players being paid? Y'all think that this is new? Y'all think that paying players is new? No, y'all know it's not, man. Y'all know people have been getting the bag. Cam Newton's dad just knew the system. So I agree. And now, y'all, I've made a prediction. There's going to be teams that are going to win national championships that have never won one before, because it isn't – the best players don't always make the best team, but the best team always wins. Look at yesterday. Serbia almost beat USA. They don't have as good of players, but the best team always wins. USA got their stuff together. And when 12 teams make it, there's always going to be a Cinderella. There's always going to be some guys that don't care about the money and do it for each other. Jacob Williams. It's possible to follow the whole NFL. That's true. Land. But it's hard to do the college. That's right, Jacob. I totally agree it is. That's why they designed it like that. Maybe, you know what? Maybe that's why they're making college football the way they're making it. They don't have all these different Power Fives. Now they got the Power Four or whatever, the G4, whatever they call it. Somewhat, all the games are good now. Yeah, well, dude, stay with Totem Pole Nation. 90% of the people, y'all, 90% of the people that view our channel, 90% of our viewers are subscribers. That's the loyalty that we have. We know your name. We get to know you and you get to know us. And this is just a Totem Pole just ain't me. It's a whole collection of guys that all are like-minded. A lot of the people on Totem Pole used to be guys in the chat that I was like, dude, you're so good. You got to come on, man. You know more than me. All right, Jacob. NIL, I think will make high school football more like college. Okay, so let me tell you what I think about that, Jacob. Colleges are not no colleges are recruiting high school kids anymore. They're recruiting the portal. So let's just call it what it is. Division I, 1AA, D2, D3. The D3s are trying to get D2 and 1AA guys. The D2s are trying to get 1AA and 1A guys. The 1AAs are trying to get the 1A guys. The 1A guys are trying to steal guys from the real big schools. And then the real big schools, the best of the best are cherry picking from below. And that's the worst of the worst when the guys up top cherry pick from below, man. Because that means they're stealing people's players. I think that now the NCAA has figured out that if they make 1AA in Division II and Division III the feeder program for the NFL, they're going to make more money. They're going to make more revenue. And if the high school is the feeder program for the small colleges, then, oh well. More kids playing college football means more money for colleges. And they're not all on scholarships, y'all. They're getting loans from the federal government. That is our money. That it's their money, and they got to pay it back with interest. Yeah, Oregon is another level. Well, Simwa, I can't read the whole comment because I'm driving, but Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher is evidence that buying players does not always work, because people are motivated or manipulated for 4 reasons, y'all. This is coming from the CIA. And y'all will not believe this. That guy, Andy Bustamante, who's the CIA agent, for some reason, there was a podcast of him put on our channel with 2.2 million views. How is the CIA putting a video on our channel? That's weird. The CIA believes this, y'all. How do you motivate or manipulate somebody to get them to do what you want them to do? Number one, you find out what they believe. You find out their ideology. 2, you find out how they perceive themselves, their ego. Number 3, you find out what they want materially, money, a sticker, a t-shirt. That's called reward. And then the last one, this is the last step, and once you do it, you can never get back because you lose the person's trust. It's coercion. You squeeze them. You torture them. You waterboard them. Like that's not what you do, okay? We are your dedicated. Yeah. We're dedicated to you, and you're dedicated to us. And we love it, man. We love it, dude. Nobody is paying me to say any of this. Heck, I'm not making no money for saying this. I'm doing it because I love it, and I love Totem Pole. And for some reason, there was a CIA video of Andy Bustamante put on our channel with 2.2 million views. I mean, that's going to mess up our channel, y'all. If we have a video that's not about sports, it's about the CIA, it's about international affairs, it's not about NFL and college football. So our views have gone down, but we don't care. You can't stop Totem Pole Nation because we're the low man on the totem pole. We are the underdog, man. Everybody loves an underdog. Everybody loves David when he fights Goliath. And that's what we are, y'all. People are sick of ESPN. People are sick of Barstool. People are sick of Fox Sports. People are sick of the fake. They are sick of the fake personalities. Why don't you get somebody that really knows sports? I love that. Whether you're driving in, please be careful. Yes, I will be careful, brother. This is the remnants of the hurricane. This is the hurricane that went through Florida, the Miami Hurricanes, college football. This is the remnants of the hurricane that is now in Virginia. And they canceled school for 2 days because of this. Yeah, man, I know you guys in Florida are laughing. Y'all are laughing at this, that they canceled schools in Virginia because of this. Hey, Totem Pole Nation, we love you. Jacob, what are your AFC, NFC championship game predictions? All right, Jacob, I'm a coach. Okay, so I've been a small college coach, and I've been a high school coach, and the one rule is you don't gamble. All right, so if I knew the future, I would go. I used to say I would go to Las Vegas. I would go to Atlantic City, but now I just get on my phone. And I have a very addictive personality, so I do not gamble. And I know one thing: I never will ever pick against Patrick Mahomes again. Okay, so some of my friends that have coached in that league, they are Jim McNally. He was Anthony Munoz's coach for the Bengals for 18 years. Bob Wiley. He was the offensive line coach for the Cleveland Browns. The Sid Hut. Bob Wiley, after the Super Bowl, told me this. He said, there's only been 6 Super Bowls that have been won by quarterbacks that weren't Hall of Famers. What? Huh? And he's not talking about Eli Manning, because Eli Manning will be a Hall of Famer. All right, he beat Tom Brady twice in Super Bowls. There's only been 6 Super Bowls won by guys who are not Hall of Famers. Now, Doug Williams is a college football Hall of Famer. I would say Joe Theismann is a college football Hall of Famer. And Mark Griffin was a great player. All right, but he's got a point. People say defense wins championships, and yeah, with the Ravens it did. Rex Ryan, Buddy Ryan, the Chicago Bears, the 85 Bears, the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. I mean, they got by with guys that, they were pretty good. I mean, they're good college quarterbacks. McMahon out of BYU, Trent Dilfer out of Fresno State, Toby Price, all Texas Super Bowl. Will it ever happen? Maybe. You might have just called it. First of all, you always ask yourself, where's the Super Bowl at? Okay, it's in New Orleans. So New Orleans, I'm not good in geography, but geography's not far from Texas. Okay, so give me the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC just because I'm a renegade. Don't tell me I'm stupid, because I know I'm stupid. I'm just taking a shot in the dark with the Cowboys. All right, give me the Chiefs on the AFC side, and it's all about matchups. It's all about storylines, as these WWE guys always say. Jacob says, what is Bob Wiley, the shaking? Yes, that's him, Bob Wiley. I did a 5-hour podcast with him. We got to about 3 hours. He was asking himself questions and answering them. I mean, dude, you can't. That guy knows everything, dude. All you do is listen. All right, Simoa, that's a long comment there, okay? I think the Ravens, okay? So AFC last year, it was – let's just go back to who made it last year. I like your prediction, KC versus the Cowboys. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna go with KC yet, Toby. I'm just saying KC's gonna make the AFC Championship. The Cowboys are gonna make the NFC. I've already predicted the Dallas Cowboys to win it all, so I've already predicted them in the Super Bowl. So now let's see what the best storyline would be. What would get the most viewers? All right, Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow, I would pick you, but Joe Burrow, you're coming off of an injury, and I don't know, man. Dude, the Detroit Lions. Give me the Detroit Lions and give me the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC. Give me the Thanksgiving matchup in the NFC Championship. And then give me the Chiefs and the Ravens again. And the Ravens this time will beat the Chiefs. And it will be the Dallas Cowboys versus the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Now, don't call me stupid, because I already know I'm stupid and I can't predict the future. I'm not like Lambo. I'm not going to say I predict the future. All right, I'm just thinking of storylines. All right, because nobody can predict it. But when it comes down to quarterbacks and Lamar Jackson, who was MVP last year, and everybody says he sucks. He's terrible. Okay, well, he was great. Do y'all remember him when he played against – it was a late season game. He might have played against the Raiders. They played against the 49ers on TV, and he annihilated the 49ers. Where are you going? I don't know where I've been. I'm just following the yellow brick road there, Oxy, Ion. I'm going to Fork Union Military Academy. Yeah, that's where I work. That's where I coach. If Lamar could win a game from the pocket, I would pick the Ravens. Yes. Josh Allen is just so reckless. I like Josh Allen. I like the Buffalo Bills. I like quarterbacks, man. It's a quarterback league, and it's always been a quarterback league. All right, so who are the 6 guys that are not in the Hall of Fame or future Hall of Famers that have won a Super Bowl? There's only been 6 of them, according to Bob Wiley. So, Joe Gibbs won 3 Super Bowls, y'all, without a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think that's more impressive than winning 6 with Tom Brady. No offense to the Patriots, but I'm a homer. I used to be a Redskin fan. I saw Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes live in Arrowhead Stadium in 2019. Wow, Jacob, that's impressive. I like the Chargers as a surprise team. Trent from the 2000 Ravens, Trent Dilfer, you're right. Okay, so the Chargers, a surprise team. I know a guy that coached Justin Herbert. He didn't coach him, but he coached the offensive line in Oregon. And he told me that Justin Herbert is a better person than he is player. And, dude, all these elite quarterbacks, ain't none of them turds. Name me a quarterback that is in the NFL that was a turd, that was a me guy, that wasn't about the team. Bobby Hughes, says Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan won a Super Bowl, or did he lose a Super Bowl in the fourth quarter with Dan Quinn and Baby Shanahan as the offensive coordinator? Bobby Hughes, thank you for commenting, but did Matt Ryan win a Super Bowl? Total Pole Nation, we love you. 90% of our viewers are subscribers. That's the loyalty that Totem Pole Nation delivers. Somebody said that we're the new Barstool. And, dude, we're the common man. We're for the common man. No disrespect to Barstool. No disrespect to ESPN. But, dude, we're not trying to be fake. We're not trying to be phony. We're not trying to be a character. We're not trying to be something we're not. All we're trying to be is what we are. Nick Foles and or Carson Wentz will not be Hall of Famers. Yes, I agree. Okay, so there's one. And then you got the 3 Redskin quarterbacks. So I don't know if he meant college football Hall of Famers and pro football. Okay, Toby, thanks for having me. I have to leave. May God bless you and your feed and the Dallas Cowboys. Dude, Toby, I have been blessed my entire life. Even when I try to get off of the way, the path, the road, it leads me back to it. I can't get away from it. The Lord has blessed me. Chan Gailey, go watch the podcast I did with Chan Gailey. Chan Gailey said, Troy, the Lord takes care of children and fools, and you're not a child. So what am I? The Lord takes care of fools. So I guess I'm a fool. New coach, new motivation. That coach from Michigan has a thing for turning teams around. Yes, he does. And here's the question. I love Jim Harbaugh. How can you not love Jim Harbaugh if you love football? He is football. He oozes it. But did Jim Harbaugh cheat? Did Jim Harbaugh bend the rules to win? And can he bend the rules in the NFL? Here's the question I need to ask the offensive line coach from the 49ers when Colin Kaepernick chose to throw 2 fade balls to Crabtree when the 49ers played the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Do y'all remember that? They were like on the goal line. They were in the they were like, it wasn't the red zone. It was like the 10-yard line. He chose to throw 2 fade balls to Crabtree in a row. Were they checks? There's no way Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh called those 2 fade balls. I knew a guy, Aaron Moorhead, who coached at Stanford with Harbaugh. And he told me, dude, they call plays as a team. It isn't just one guy. And I find it very hard to believe that they called 2 fade balls on the goal line, didn't give the ball to Frank Gore. All right, there's no Russell Wilsons, all right, out there. God can't bless the Cowboys as long as Jerry Jones is around. Sorry, ha ha. Hey, man, Jerry's world. Jerry is a legend. Anybody that fires God's coach, Tom Landry, I'm referencing the book written by Skip Bayless. It put him on the map about Tom Landry. And you fire Jimmy Johnson. Dude, I don't think there might be a better football coach than Jimmy Johnson. I think he might be one of the best of all time. Joe Gibbs and Jimmy Johnson. I think they're underrated. Someone would have gotten fired. Oh, yeah. Someone did get fired. And it's called Crabtree, and it's called Colin Kaepernick. Yes. Why do you think Colin Kaepernick was not the quarterback very much longer with the 49ers? Why do you think he got benched? Dude, you don't throw two fade balls on the goal line when Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman are calling the plays. There's no way, man. I've always wanted to know that. Always. The lights turned off, y'all, in the Super Bowl. Huh? Yeah. Ravens and 49ers, the Harbaughs. Hey, dude, what about a Harbaugh Super Bowl? Oh, you can't. You can't have a Harbaugh Super Bowl because both of them are in the AFC. I was about to say, what if we had a Harbaugh Super Bowl? Man, what if we have a Harbaugh AFC Championship game? Man, we already had a Harbaugh Super Bowl with the 49ers and Ravens. Okay, I got some comments here. Who would you draft first round in the fantasy this season? Bobby Hughes. I'm not a fantasy football guy, but Coach Bald is. Coach Bald said Christian McCaffrey. That I don't know nothing about fantasy football because I've never played it. And fantasy football is for people who don't coach real football. Because, I mean, dude, when you coach football, you don't have time for a fantasy team. I'm getting ready to coach the O and D line at a post-grad with guys coming in from all around the country to play a year after high school to go play Division I. So I'm sure some of these guys in Totem Pole Nation in the chat can help you. But, dude, he said Christian McCaffrey's that dude. And he said, do not take a quarterback in the first round and take quarterback and wide receiver duos. All right? Somewhat. That split zone action, man, you're making me excited now, man. Okay? You're making me excited. You know what you're making me want to do? Here's what I do, y'all. You know how all these people say they watch film? I need to get some all 22. I need to go watch the end zone cut. I need to get the NFL all 22 cut. No, you don't. No, you don't. Go to YouTube and watch the 15-minute highlight of every game. Oh, yeah. There's a 15-minute highlight of every game in the NFC Championship. Go watch that 15-minute highlight between the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. If you want to study offensive football at the highest level, there is nothing bigger than that game other than the Super Bowl. And that's a pretty good offenses right there. The split zone action run, and the 49ers did. I mean, dude, the 49ers are amazing. Shanahan is amazing. Why? Because he's a pedigree. He's a legacy. His dad was an NFL coach. All right, he's a freakazoid mind. He's a freakazoid coach. And he's got a chip on his shoulder. The dude's got something to prove, man. People said his entire life, oh, you're just Mike Shanahan's son. You play at the University of Texas, the Longhorns, hook 'em horns, because you're friends with Phil Simms' son, Chris Simms. You know, your daddy's an NFL coach. Jimmy J is one of only two coaches to not win champions, to win a champion Super Bowl. Hold on, Jacob. There's three guys that have won a national championship and a Super Bowl. There's three. Okay, Pete Carroll, Jimmy Johnson, and then the bootlegger's son. The bootlegger's son, yes. The guy that replaced Jimmy Johnson. Yes. Yes. What was his name? Who is the third coach to win a national championship and a Super Bowl? There's Pete Carroll, there's Jimmy Johnson, and then there's another guy. A lot of people forget about him because they blame him for ruining the Dallas Cowboys. And I think Chan Gailey, I never knew this man until I met Chan Gailey. Chan Gailey was a phenom. Chan Gailey won a national championship as a 25-year-old head coach in 1AA. Dude, you don't make it to the NFL in those days. He wasn't related to anybody. His last name wasn't Belichick. His last name wasn't Shanahan. His last name wasn't Gruden. You didn't get to the NFL unless you were the best. And you had to work your way up from high school to college to the NFL. Look at Jim McNally. He went from Buffalo to Wake Forest. Maybe Buffalo to Wake Forest to Marshall, maybe Marshall to the Bengals. He has to do better with his play calling in big games. I tell you, Simwava, when I knew both teams got the ball, in the Super Bowl, no matter what, and they chose to get the ball first, I was like, hold on, man, this is like high school. If both teams get the ball, don't you always want to get the ball last? Because you want to know what the other guy's going to do? Wow. All right, so chat. Who was it that was the only other coach that won a Super Bowl and a national championship? Nobody's put it in the chat. Georgia OU Rose Bowl. Best of all time as a linebacker. Do you still recommend hands on the knees, fingers wiggle? No, you never put your hands on your knees. You're just gonna have your hands hang naturally. All right, but you want them ready to strike. You're never gonna rest your hands. Yeah, you just let them hang. And dude, if you watch the NFL, these guys' feet are so wide in their stance. Just watch how the best do it. And that's why I recommend, dude, if you want to learn football, people say, well, I need to get a playbook. No, you don't. Just get the film. All right, so has anybody answered the question in the chat? Jimmy J, Andy Reid used to be Barry Switzer. Barry Switzer, Jimmy Johnson, and Pete Carroll are the only three coaches that I know of that won national championships and Super Bowls. Bobby Hughes, Slim. I'm just going to call you Slim, brother, because it's easier for me to say. I got a speech impediment, man. He needs to reach out to Jimbo Fisher or Andy Reid. I tell you, dude, Jimbo, I got his cell number. I've tried to call Jimbo. I've tried to text him. But Jimbo, because that's my nickname, Crystal Ball Paul gave me the nickname Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher is one of the greatest offensive minds in all of football. I always thought he would go to the NFL because he's like a Bobby Petrino type to me. Jimbo is getting paid a lot of money to sit at home. And Jimbo would be fantastic on TV. Why? He's from West Virginia. He's a hillbilly. He's a country boy. He's a great talker. Dude, once you get done, Jimbo, you've already got a national championship. Go to TV. Be the next Corso. Too many of these guys try to go back on the field. Dude, go to the booth. Dude, I read Bootlegger's Son when I was in 5th grade. Bootlegger's Boy, the book that Barry Switzer talked about Buster Rhymes, not the rapper, the real dude, the guy that broke out of Uzi in the Oklahoma dormitory. I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story, man. I met this guy that had played for Stanford. All right, do y'all remember a coach that was at Pittsburgh, and he went from Pittsburgh? He was Larry Fitzgerald's coach, and he went from Pittsburgh to Stanford. I can't think of his name right now. Walt Harris, was it? Look it up for me, y'all. The guy that was the head coach at Pittsburgh with Larry Fitzgerald, and then he left and went to Stanford. And I met a guy that played for Stanford. Y'all are going to love this. So the coach left Pittsburgh, right? And he's going to Stanford. All right, Pittsburgh and Stanford are a little different. I've never been to Stanford, but the coach at Stanford has the same name as me. But we're not the same. He was an NFL quarterback. All right, I was an unrecruited walk-on at an NAIA school. I started high school 1 year at center just because they didn't have anybody else. Bobby Hughes, how recent? When Larry Fitzgerald played. I think it was Walt Harris or Pittsburgh Stanford coach. He could sell water to a whale. Yeah. How recent? It was within the last 20 years. All right, he went from Pittsburgh to Stanford. I think it was Walt Harris. But his first meeting with the players at Stanford, dude, Stanford used to fundraise $1 billion a year. This was 20 years ago. $1 billion a year. It's Palo Alto, man. It's where Apple is from. It's Silicon Valley. He told the players at Stanford is like one of the most elite schools in the world. Aaron Moorhead, who coached at Stanford, told me once, he said, Troy, coaching at Stanford is easy. I was like, well, how is that, man? Like, how is recruiting easy when you're at such a prestigious academic school? And he goes, because if they're not in AP classes by the time they're sophomore year, we can't recruit them. It's like they eliminate themselves. So in his first meeting, I think it is Walt Harris, the coach that went from Pittsburgh to Stanford. He is in the meeting. This is told to me by one of his players that I met later on. He says, hey, man, we got one rule. So all the guys at Stanford, like, they're really, really intelligent. They're not like me. They're smart, okay? They're listening intently to every word he's saying. They're internalizing it. And he goes, we got one rule. Keep your guns and your beepers in your cars. Okay, guys, look. Here's the life lesson for today. This ain't Life Lessons Podcast. This is called Troy Taylor Being Stupid, driving to Fort Union Military Academy in Fluvanna, Virginia, Fort Union, Virginia. You have a different audience when you're in Pittsburgh and when you're at Stanford. Don't tell those Stanford guys, leave your guns and beepers in your cars. All right, dude, I don't say that to any of my guys. Because, dude, I'm not recruiting you if you're selling drugs and if you got guns. Well, you might say, well, Coach, how do you know that? Because, dude, I get to know the kid inside and out. I go to the school. Like, I get to know. When I go to the school, I talk to the coach, but I go find the cafeteria lady. I go find the custodian. I go find maybe a girl in the school that ain't the prettiest. You know, and I ask her, hey, tell me about this guy. How does he treat women? Who is he? And you say, is he a good guy? This is a trick question, y'all. This is a hustle. I learned this from Urban Meyer. How did you learn this from Urban Meyer? Because I've met him twice. Is he a good guy? That's a trick question. When someone asks you, is a guy a good guy? They're waiting to see if you pause. If you pause, when you ask him, is he a good guy? No answer is your answer. Once you pause and you say, yes, he's a good guy, you answered wrong. When you ask somebody, is he a good guy? The answer back is he's a great guy. If you don't say that he's a great guy, because there's something better than good, it's great. And we're not looking for good. We're looking for great. And it ain't what's outside of you that makes you great. We've talked about this on Totem Pole. There's 3 types of people. There's 3 types of players. Look at the top 100 players in the NFL, and I guarantee you can classify all of them in these 3 categories. The first one is they're a legacy. They have pedigree. Their brother taught them the pattern. Their dad was a player. Belichick. Mahomes is a legacy. His dad was a pro athlete. He was a pitcher in the major leagues for the Blue Jays and was it the Cubs? You have a pedigree. You have someone that showed you the way. Or you're a freakazoid. You're a genetic freak like Myles Garrett. You're a genetic freak like Micah Parsons. You're a genetic freak like CeeDee Lamb. The third type of person or player is you have a chip on your shoulder. You have something to prove. Okay, so in this world, I can't help but do life lessons because this is why we're doing it. Why do I coach? I coach to help people. I coach to change lives. And I coach to build champions. Dude, you are either a pedigree. Your mama or daddy did it. Your family did it. Or you're just a freakazoid. The Lord blessed you with intelligence. The Lord blessed you with talent. Or you're a chip on the shoulder guy. Now, you can be all three. You can be two. You can be one. But everybody has to be one of those three things. Everybody. But when you're all three, oh my gosh. When you're two of them, oh my gosh. Get the gold jacket ready. Mahomes is all three. You're exactly right. Jacob Williams, he's all three. His dad was a pro athlete. Dude, this kid, Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, he's not just elite quarterback, he's an elite person. His dad got a DUI. His dad got his, third or second week of the Super Bowl. I don't know about y'all, but my family has some type of addiction or alcoholism in it. This kid's dad got a DUI in the Super Bowl. He don't even flinch. His brother gets arrested. He don't even flinch. His wife, thinks it's about her and she's in the Sports Illustrated. He don't even flinch. Like, this is a good kid. This is a good man. That's his pattern. I mean, when his dad met his mom in the liquor store, this is just a story that I've heard. I think his dad said. He met his mom in a liquor store and said, hey, me and you, we're going to make a great athlete. Yeah, dude, you show me a great athlete, show me his mama. When I meet a kid, I want to know how tall his mama is. Because, dude, your mama is very, very influential in your genes, especially height. All right, now there's things that are different and everything. Yeah, brother arrested. Look at that. Dude, look at coaches. Coaches are one of those three things. They're either a pedigree, a legacy, their daddy was a coach. That can get your foot in the door. Having the last name can get your foot in the door. It can't get you to stay in the room. It can't get you to stay on the train. Because, dude, life is competitive. Life is competitive. That's what schools don't teach. They don't teach that life is competitive. They want kids not to work. They want kids not to know that it's a game. You're competing every day. Having a pedigree will get your foot in the door. Being a freakazoid will get your foot in the door. Having a chip on your shoulder, being a workaholic will get your foot in the door, but it won't keep you in the door. It won't keep you on that train. And the reason I know this is because a couple months ago, I set on a mission to find out who was it that can pick quarterbacks better than anybody. Who is the best at picking quarterbacks? So I went on a little mission because I had a D1 coach call me and ask me about a kid from my hometown. And he asked me about the kid. And I said, Coach, the kid's been to 4 different schools in 3 years. And he goes, well, Troy, I didn't know that. I said, well, Coach, that's just his pattern. That's who he is. I don't know, but colleges, they don't want to hear that a kid's gone to 4 different schools in 3 years. As soon as something don't go his way, he's going to leave. So I kind of started thinking like, well, who should I study? If I want to find out who can really pick quarterbacks, who should I study? So then I remember talking to my friend on the phone, a young coach. He's almost 30 now, but I'm 46. I said, dude, there was a guy that told Bill Belichick, a coach told Bill Belichick to draft Tom Brady. Lincoln Riley does a good job. Yes, he does. Why? Because he's all three, man. Lincoln Riley is all three. He comes from Mike Leach's tree. Mike Leach is the GOAT. Mike Leach is the best. Man, what a guy, dude. I could do a whole podcast on Mike Leach. But I told this kid, I call him a kid, but he's not. I said, there's a guy who told Bill Belichick to draft Tom Brady. I said, I don't know his name, but I'm going to find out. The best. He was the best because he was the most himself. He never tried to be phony. He never tried to be fake. He never tried to be nothing he wasn't. Because you know what he was? A guy that never played college football that went to BYU and got a lawyer degree. And he loved pirates and he loved history. And he was comfortable in his own skin. That's why people love Mike Leach. That's why I cried when Mike Leach died. I was blessed that one of my players worked for Mike Leach at Washington State as a strength coach and at Mississippi State, John Graves. Google him. One of the best players I ever coached, one of the best people I ever coached. Morgan Moses is another one. He's the starting right tackle for the New York Jets. And the Jets have the 5th ranked offensive line in the NFL right now, per PFF, Pro Football Focus. Dick Rabine. Dick Rabine was the quarterback coach. And I'm not going to get all into Dick Rabine's career, but he was around the GOATs. He was around the GOATs, or he learned from guys that learned from the greatest of all time. And Bill Belichick told him, hey, Dick, find me a late-round quarterback. And it was Tim Rattay. I remember the name, Tim Rattay, and it was Tom Brady. Those are the two guys. He went to Tom Brady. He went to Michigan, and he called his wife and said, honey, I think I found the next Joe Montana. Honey, I think I found the next Brett Favre. Honey, in 20 years, everybody will be talking about this guy. Dick Rabine knew the pattern. Dick Rabine knew about faith, family, and football. Dick Rabine knew about being a freak, knew about having a chip on your shoulder. Dick Rabine knew about life. Dick Rabine understood football. Dick Rabine understood the world. Dick Rabine knew what was important, and it wasn't football. Dick Rabine knew that people were legacies, chip on your shoulders, or freakazoids. And Tom Brady, who Dick Rabine, when he was drafted by the New England Patriots, he called his wife every round. He knew family was important. That's why he always texted 143 to his family. It meant, I love you. 143. Dick Rabine. Dick Rabine told Bill Belichick to draft Tom Brady. Nobody even knows who Dick Rabine is, really. There needs to be a movie made about Dick Rabine. There needs to be a book written about Dick Rabine. Dick Rabine died before Tom Brady ever played a play. Dick Rabine called his wife when they drafted Tom Brady, and they said, we got him. We got him. Dick Rabine thought he was the luckiest man in the world because he had Drew Bledsoe, who was #1 overall, and Tom Brady. Wow. Totem Pole Nation, we are blessed. We are blessed. Not because we have a YouTube channel, not because we get to talk about the NFL. We are blessed because we're here. We're blessed because we are. And we love y'all. It's time to go to work, baby. Detroit Lions run game, Detroit Lions offensive line, Totem Pole Nation. Have a great day.